Here we go, guys. GAB versus ZEX. This is the first matchup in day 3 of the Americas prelims. Take it away for round 1.
All right, let's get things started, guys. We got our pre-bans locking in right here. ZEBALA and SIGA finding themselves in the pre-ban with our very first match, GAB versus ZEX.
Wow, Gab has been doing his homework. I would say ZEX has probably one of the highest Swift bestest runes in SWC, and obviously Gab found out that it's going to be ZEBALA. So I love that ZEBALA pre-ban. Great pre-ban by Gab.
Definitely a great pre-ban indeed. Ciara is that first pick coming out of GAB, and we got ZEX locking in a 33 speed lead already in the form of Oliver. He's going to be slamming down that Hagang with it as well, and, you know, even I've come to find out Hagang as a first pick, it's pretty good.
Yeah, ZEX picking that pre-ban looks like he's... ZEX picking that Hagang looks like he's going to pick another AoE stripper, because that's just how ZEX plays, and he's also taking Hagang from Gab. Gab also really likes picking Hagang as well.
Most definitely. That'll be paired up really well if he's able to lock in these robos, if that's the route he decides to take here. Looks like Gab's going to be showcasing a Veladrul and an Okeanos. Double fire busting out an old unit that's coming to life again, Okeanos.
Picking that Gapsu kind of counters Veladrul a little bit every other turn, because Veladrul's second skill is on a 2-turn cooldown. ZEX deciding to pivot. Interesting, because I think he pivoted because Gab took out his ZEBALA.
Yeah, that's an interesting take right there, that is definitely a pivot when you're drafting that Gapsu with that Masha as well. So let's see what Gab's going to be doing. He's got these 2 last picks. He sees the pivot coming out of ZEX, and it looks like there's going to be a small pivot coming from him as well. Not too much, though. We've got a Miles, and we've got a Viva Chill coming out for Gab.
Yeah, this last pick from ZEX is going to be kind of interesting. I would even kind of... You can't really pick Leo because Viva Chill kind of counters Leo. So let's just see what ZEX is going to do.
Yeah, that's a
ZEX
really good
has
point. You're definitely not going to see a Leo there.
Yeah, ZEX also has 2 units that counter Gab pretty well, being Masha is going to probably one-shot the Sierra. So let's see how this ban is going to look like.
Looks like that last pick's going to be Volantis being drafted by ZEX, so not a terrible unit here. We know this is a great unit to kind of get some control, getting provokes, and a little bit of damage out onto that field as well. So let's see how Gab likes this Volantis as a last pick.
Yeah, we kind of knew that ZEX was going to pair up another AoE strip with his Hagang. We just didn't know which one. Volantis being a pretty good pick into all 5 of these Gab units.
Well, the bans are locked in here. We're going to see both Sky Surfers get the bans out. Miles and Oliver banned out here. We got a DAC HP lead coming out for that Gab. So 24 speed lead for Gab. Let's see what happens, guys. We get into our very first match right here with ZEX versus Gab.
Yeah, even though he got the speed lead, but all of ZEX's unit could counterattack, as in cut in between all of his units. Because Volantis could cut and Hagang could cut. Interesting to note that the Gapsu is not on will runes. Let's see how he's going to take advantage of that.
That's a really big resist there. He tried to reset the Masha, not happening. Defense break's going to land on top of that Okeanos. Okeanos did not take that damage well at all.
Yeah, Hagang's just being so powerful, boosting the Masha up and giving Masha a turn to set up will immunity again.
Exactly that. Nice little strip there coming out of Gapsu on top of that CR, so glancing is going to get applied to the entire team of Gab, so it's very, very important here. Looks like unit focus is... Looks like he's swapping around here. A little bit of poke damage, attack bar pushback on that Veladrul, but it looks like priority damage is going on to Ciara this time. Now, we can detonate the bomb. I don't know if he's going to choose to detonate that bomb. We got a little bit more damage coming towards the Volantis, which was a bold decision with the return stun onto Ciara.
Why did he skill 1 the Volantis? Oh no, the Volantis could revenge stun.
It was a bold decision indeed. He got stunned up immediately. Now Gapsu's doing a very interesting thing here. Gapsu got nerfed skill 1 to not stun so much, so getting a stun here on the Volantis, quite clutch here for ZEX, but more damage once again going into Ciara. That's a lot of dots here. This is probably not enough dots to finish off Ciara, though.
In hindsight, the Oki should have resetted the Volantis. That might have been a better play, but let's just see how this game pans out.
Yeah, definitely. That big heal coming out of Veladrul ended up pushing up Gapsu up, so now CR is even in a worse position, but it doesn't matter. We've got a Violent proc coming out of Veladrul. We've got a Cleanse coming out. He can choose to save his Ciara, which I think is what needs to happen here, but I know he kind of wants to push up this Veladrul too.
There are a lot of different types of BO5 and RTA. There's Swift ones that are kind of scary, and there's also violent ones. I find the violent BO5 more more threatening. So great job by GAB.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens, because that's a round 1 victory going in here for ZEX, so well done. We're getting into a round number 2 as we find out new pre-bans getting locked in here, because we know those pre-bans from before, that Zabala and that Cigar, they are available as we get into round number 2 here.
Yeah, this game, ZEX is going to be able to have his Zabala, so he can really threaten that speed that GAB always tries to get.
Exactly, that's one of the units that's going to get banned out here as well. So it looks like the 24 speed lead, a Ciara is going to be catching a pre-ban, and an Eleanor. That's a little surprising to see an Eleanor in a pre-ban by these two.
Yeah, I don't even know GAB has a Eleanor. If he had a Eleanor, he probably just pulled it, to be honest.
Oh, very interesting. So he already knows it. ZEX has done his research. He knows GAB that has that in the box there. So Eleanor catching a pre-ban here. Let's see what GAB's going to be doing, because he's got that Hagang first pick alongside with a Cigar as well. ZEX very quick to lock in that Zabala and that Dak Robo. You can see how quick he locked that Zabala down.
Yeah, that Oliver Zabala Dark Robo is a great combo, and you're always going to take the first turn, but you don't present enough damage. So that's the difference between Oliver and Sierra. So now ZEX really have to decide who he's going to pick to set up the damage for his team.
Wow, look at that. And very confidently slams down a Zima. And then Atomo is going to be the last unit wrapping up ZEX's draft, showcasing 2 speed leads, 24 and a 33. GAB looking to respond right now. He does have a very fast Ethna being showcased at the moment with the 24 speed lead coming from the Chandra. So curious to see what this last pick is going to be here.
Last pick could be a Veramos. I think Veramos is just going to be a force ban. But there's also Oliver and Tomoe on the other side, so that's going to be a little bit rough to push through all the attack bar pushbacks.
Oof, man, GAB was very unsure what he wanted as that last pick. It looks like he just in the nick of time locked in that Verti-heal. It was something that he was kind of flashing before, so Verti-heal ended up making it in. Let's see where these bans are going in this round number 2 between GAB and ZEX.
GAB was actually trying to figure out which Vertihill he's picking, the Violent one, Triple Revenge one, or the Double Revenge Will.
All right, there we go. Very perceptive. Let's see what happens as we get into the match. If it's going to be willed up, or is it going to be Triple Revenge? We'll find out. Cigar and that Doc Robo catching some bans here. 24 speed lead for GAB, 33 for ZEX. Let's get into round number 2 right here.
So now he's going to boost Zima, and let's see if Zima will set up the Cleanse block versus the Hagen.
Woo, and the silences on the Ethna, very impactful. It'll shut down that turn 1 unit there for GAB, but we've got Hagen coming in looking to get glancing across the entire field of ZEX. And of course, we're throwing that hug out on the Ethna. Ethna is not known to be very, very tanky, so he wants to protect that unit very early into this game here. We have a little bit of attack power that's going to be gained from this Verti-heal, so GAB trying to get the edge on his opponent very early.
Looks like the common enemy of both players in both games are, from the start, is Hagen. Hagen taking over the game again from turn 1.
Yep, Oliver trying to get a little bit of attack bar pushback there onto the Chandra. Not happening, though. No Despair Stun coming out from this Hagen just yet, but we do have a stunned up Zima now. We're gaining a lot more attack bar from this Verti-heal. Verti-heal is going to be accruing lots of value for GAB.
Yeah, ZEX drafted a team that's so important to take first turn and make sure everything's right in the first turn, but unfortunately Hagen disrupted everything that ZEX wanted to do. Hagen being such a powerful unit against ZEX's comp. Great,
Yep, it really is.
Great Dark Robo ban.
For sure. GAB's putting ZEX in a horrible situation right now, even to the point where Oliver went onto the hugged up Ethna and ended up getting stunned by the Chandra, and that's like such a horrible situation where you have to do that. So ZEX is making some very scary moves that he's just being forced to make right now with GAB.
Yeah, interesting to note that ZEX went for the Cigar ban. If he actually respected the Hagen and banned the Hagen, this match would have been a lot easier for ZEX.
Ooh, I couldn't agree more, but Hagen definitely being extremely impactful. A lot of attack bar pushback happening. Another Despair Stun right there. Tomo looking to try and do absolutely anything for ZEX's draft right now. Not even getting a comma there on top of the Verti-heal. And this is going to be really, really bad there for ZEX. You know, he's up a game, but you know what? GAB is going to be clapping back here, and he's got almost dropping some units here. Oliver's going to be on his way out here. We got a stunned up Tomo. We have an almost dead Zabala, so GAB, he is doing really well.
Yes, Ethna being on the dying breath. He probably want to skill 3 the Ethna just to finish off the Ethna, even though it's because that's such low health. Ethna being so volatile with the skill 2 and this.
Yep, for sure. There's a
Huge
wonderful
stun.
spare stun shutting down that Tomo. That was a huge stun indeed. And this is where that Vertiheal really starts to be so toxic. It was the last pick, and it was a very good pick coming from GAB as well. Oh my god, the despair stuns are rolling in. ZEX thought he could maybe clutch that one out there with this Oliver. That's just not going to happen. The despair stuns with this Vertiheal is pumping up way too much attack bar, pushing back all of ZEX's efforts right now. Lane into the glancing is also extremely impactful, stopping this unit from doing anything at all. We have GAB winning round number 2 against ZEX.
Great drafting by GAB, and also this time ZEX decided not to take the Heigang early, and GAB was able to punish ZEX for that.
Definitely, it really was. I mean, Heigang might even find himself in a pre-ban as we get into this round number 3. We have the CR, we have the Eleanor now available to draft. I wonder if we're going to see another Vertiheal. That Vertiheal came in super clutch for GAB.
ZEX pre-banning the Bison. I'm really surprised he's going to let GAB have his Viva Chell again.
Definitely an interesting ban indeed. No surprise to see that pre-ban, though, from GAB on the Zabala. Definitely a good unit to lock that pre-ban in. CR is going to be the first pick, 24 speed lead coming out of GAB, gaining some priority.
Yeah, Zabala is a good ban indeed. ZEX having this such fast Swift runes. His Zabala is always going to guarantee him first turn.
For sure. 33 speed lead being showcased by ZEX. And the Heigang. He won that first match with an Oliver and Heigang. ZEX is looking to win round number 3 with that Oliver and Heigang once again. Let's see what GAB's going to choose to do here. I think GAB is probably in a world of drafting a little bit better in that first round compared to this round right here as we're getting into this draft.
I'm actually surprised that ZEX doesn't like to take the Sierra, because last game he chose the Oliver or the Sierra, and he kind of ran out of damage towards the end of the game as well. And he chose to went back with his Oliver this game as well. So let's just see how ZEX is going to... It seems like they're running it back with the draft, and so it's just up to who they're going to pre-ban.
Yeah, exactly that. We are running it back into that game 1. I'm curious why GAB decided to run it back into game 1. Going to make a better ban decision as we get into this match here. Tomo potentially going to be the last pick here coming out for ZEX. Does he want to lock in another speed lead, or is he locking in this Fire Monkey King, which I think the Fire Monkey King is a pretty good decision to make, but that might be showcasing a ban on the Miles.
Fire Monkey King is a great counter for Okeanos, so we'll see how the Fire Monkey King performs. Once Okeanos do Rain of Fire, Fire Monkey King will get 10 stacks right away.
Exactly that. Here we go, guys. We're getting into round number 3 with ZEX and GAB. We're not going to be seeing that Miles. We're not going to be seeing that Oliver. Once again, those are pre-bans from that first match as well. Kicking things off with a very fast Viva Chill.
Yeah, also, that's a very fast Viva Chell on Violent as well. Viva Chell providing that fast base speed, making it go first. You also know GAB has good runes on this Viva Chell.
Exactly that. Okeanos looking way better in this round compared to round number 4. He was not able to get the script reset onto the Masha, but he was able to get it this time around. Landing that bomb doesn't have to detonate, but it looks like he's really going to push that detonate. He just wants to get this unit dismounted as soon as possible. We can go with the skill 3 pushing up his team here. Let's see what GAB's going to be doing.
So the whole reason why GAB chose to reset the Masha first game was so he wanted to reset the Masha, proc into AoE stun. I didn't know that was the play.
Didn't know that was the play either, but here we go, guys. We've got Fire Monkey King landing a defense break onto the Ciara, so it looks like ZEX trying to gain a little bit of ground himself, where he might be losing this Masha soon, but I do think we need to cleanse up this Ciara. We don't want to leave that defense break out here, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing.
All these heals provided by Viva Chell and Belajewel, the Gapsu on the other side is going to counter it pretty well.
Holy despair stuns. Heigang getting a ton of value there with that skill too.
I think I see which unit is giving each other a problem, and that's that blue thing on the other side of the field.
That is so true. Hagang causing so much trouble for both players here. It's almost like who can get the Hagang kind of gets the win in these matches here. But we're going to see that big skill 3 going out onto the Ciara, saving that unit with Viva Chill. We've got a skill 2. There is Glancing sitting on top of Oki, but we're still going for it, and it does not get the resist onto that Gapsu.
And this is why you pick Eligible for so good, providing immunity, AoE cleanse, and a little bit of heal, and also damage from the armor break.
Exactly that. So there's that Ciara. Gab was trying to keep that unit alive, keep it on the field for as long as possible. ZEX ended up getting his hands onto that unit and removing the Ciara from the field. Looks like Masha's going to be on her way out as well soon.
Yeah, still a close game, but I think the Gapsu just starting to stabilize the field for ZEX. Huge progress.
Exactly that. Yeah, big proc right there, finally getting rid of the Masha, so no more stabilization for that Masha. So let's see what happens. I do know Fire Monkey King and Gapsu, those are very strong units, very difficult units to get rid of here. And it looks like ZEX is doing a fine job at trying to remove Gab's units from the field, because it looks like Okeanos is going to be on the chopping block next.
So now Fire Monkey King has 10 stacks, increasing his damage, his attack speed, and also you have Gapsu healing Fire Monkey King, making Fire Monkey King invincible. Seems like ZEX has control of this game.
Definitely does. That's a much-needed defense break sitting on top of Fire Monkey King. Fire Monkey King's going to heal himself so much with that big skill, too. But there goes Okeanos. ZEX honestly going to be in full control here and getting a round 3 victory. He's up a game against Gab.
I think at this point, you just pre-ban. Whoever feels like it, just pre-ban Hagang. I don't even see Gab picking Eleanor anyway.
I think that's what needs to happen. I think that would really shake it up here if ZEX makes that pre-ban on the Hagang now, because I do believe Gab has first pick as we get into this round.
Right, in each other's head, both knowing that whoever had the Hagang won. I feel like it's favoring ZEX a little bit, because at least ZEX has the Robo to counter Hagang. But let's just see how the pre-ban goes.
Well, those pre-bans right here, the Zabala and Cigar, they are available as we get into round number 4. We have new pre-bans locking in right now. There it is, the Hagang finally getting respected. It's going to find its way into the pre-ban with the Zima as well from Gab.
And ZEX having first pick, I would like to see him pick a Sierra more over Oliver, although he might probably just go with the Oliver first pick.
I think you nailed it. It was definitely going to be an Oliver first pick. I'm definitely expecting Gab to retake that Ciara again here. I know he prioritized on a lot of his drafts. I think it's a great damage dealer for him. He gave so much time to trying to keep alive and stay on the field here. So let's see what Gab's going to be prioritizing.
Yeah, I think almost whatever Gab pick, a speed lead and speed lead and Cigar, ZEX is going to sound down ZEBALA and a Dark Robo. So Gab's going to have to be ready for that.
Gab's taking his time right here, almost running out of time. Ciara and Veligil are going to be the units. ZEX very quick to take these 2 units once again. The Zabala, that Dark Robo making it into a draft. There is no Hagang that can be drafted this time by Gab.
Yeah, but Gab still has the Vertigo and the Ethna to outspeed ZEX's team.
Yeah, so these 2 units performed very, very well up against ZEX now. Vertiheel ended up accruing a ton of value for Gab. So let's see what ZEX is going to do about that. And I think we saw the tome when we saw the Volantis last time. So it looks like naturally ZEX is going to be taking these 2 units.
Yes, naturally. I would kind of... I really like the Juno pick, because Juno's kind of not resistance to attack bar pushback, especially with the speed buff. Also counters almost every unit on ZEX's team. Now, Gab is going to have first turn. Also, Vertigo is going to provide a lot of volatility. Let's just see if anyone gets the Despair stun, especially on ZEX's side.
Exactly that. Let's find out. ZEX is at match point right now. Gab looking to stay alive. He's got Ethna kicking things off for him. Let's see if he can set the tone right for his team, because Ethna's got skills available. We're going into a big skill 3, looking to lock down this Dark Robo, and it does get that stun, stops that unit, but there's the big glancing, and even provokes landing on the side of Gab. A lot of value there from Volantis.
Double glance on a glanced up Vertihill. And also note that Vertihill did everything. It was on Will double revenge.
And it didn't work out for him. So there's that more damage, more dots coming out of this Volantis. And of course, there's where the Dak Robo is really going to start accruing value. Big skill 2s getting all that attack bar. Big skill 3 to land so many dots here. Is that going to be enough dots there to drop this Veladrul?
Yes, Stoic. That's going to be enough dots to drop the Veladrul.
Oh, so unfortunate for Gab because he is definitely at match point. Gab, I mean, if he even plants the bomb, I'm not too sure there's much more that he can do. He's going to go after the Tomo, who would have been moving next there. Does get the stun. It's a lot of damage. Birdie heals. Got to use that skill 2 to heal himself up just a little bit. But the initial turn coming out of Oliver, and that's going to be ending it right there. ZEX in a round 4 victory over Gab.